Hello everyone and welcome back to Box Office Banter, your favorite box office recap show on the entire internet. I am Tanner Lecture, joined as always by my good friend and co-host Tucker Hazel.
Whoa.
Today we are here, Tucker.
This guy's talking so fast, and enunciate, Jesus.
I love to get through the intro fast, so I'm going to continue to get through the intro, and then we can talk about the month that was September 2025 at the domestic and worldwide box office, as well as, checking in on the top 10 highest grossing films at the US and worldwide box offices, some headlines, and getting to our predictions for October, that is.
Oh, yeah.
But before we do any of that, Tucker, I want to remind you, the dear viewer, watching this right now on your laptop or phone screen, or maybe on your TV, you can do that now, to subscribe to Backlot Banter if you're not already. We do weekly movie reviews, and then we do in-depth discussions on Palme d'Or winners on our Quest for the Bestest series, and we do monthly box office recaps every single month. That's why they would call them monthly box office recaps.
Yeah. It'd be interesting if we did monthly recaps.
It's true. I mean, much to consider, but Tucker...
We could go backwards. Have you thought about that? Like doing
what are you talking about?
No, I mean, we do a monthly box office recap for something that happened 4 years ago.
Oh, I see.
One that we never did, because we only started doing this in
2021.
It was end of summer 22 because it was Doctor Strange and Top Gun and stuff like
that.
Yeah,
That's right. Fair point. Well, Tucker, much to consider, but shall we dip our toes in where we often do? The domestic openings of September 2025.
What a ragtag group of freaks, Tanner.
It really is. It's an interesting grouping here. We did have some big hits, as September apparently has big hits now in the last couple of years, as we've experienced. But then we had some odds and ends lingering around the bottom as well.
Yeah. Well, Tanner, I'm gonna say we had odds and ends lingering around the top because.
Sure, fair enough.
My point of this being a ragtag group of movies, as we're gonna go through, we have a lot of movies to talk about, but none of them. I don't know. I think only one battle after another, especially in film circles, has any staying power. And even the stuff that was big are and this is not necessarily a bad thing, but there are a lot of trying to pull in other demographics to the theaters, and they did a pretty good job at that. But this is a really diverse month, starting with. I mean, we're going to start the conversation.
Yeah, we'll get to it specific here.
The Conjuring: The Last Rites.
Yes. $84 million.
I'm sorry, the word just
weekend.
It was stuck in my throat. The word was stuck in my throat. I couldn't believe it.
Yes.
I couldn't believe it. $84 million is so much money.
It is.
For that movie.
I mean, we'll get into all its superlatives in a moment here.
Yeah.
But it's one of the biggest opening weekends of the year.
Yes.
For the fourth Conjuring movie and the ninth movie in the Conjuring universe.
Yeah. And not only actually, I'm just gonna save this till we get to the actual Conjuring.
That's fair.
Rites. But and then Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, something that you and I were totally blindsided by.
Absolutely.
In terms of our predictions. I didn't realize Demon Slayer was this is bigger than One Piece and Dragon Ball.
Multiple times bigger. Yes. This is a way bigger deal than any other anime film
One Piece
has been.
film Red,
Yeah, exactly. Or what was the Dragon Ball Z superhero?
Dragon Ball Superhero.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But Demon Slayer Infinity Castle just absolutely monstrous. As we'll get to, $70 million is just that's amazing. And then One Battle After Another, $21 million, coming number 3. We'll get to dive into that a little bit deeper. Downton Abbey, the grand finale, $18 million opening there domestically, and DreamWorks Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, at 16 or almost $17 million.
Exactly.
So, and actually a pretty tight grouping there, the 3 through 5.
Yeah,
could have ultimately went any order. This is just how it shook out, and then the closing out the top 10. Him comes in 6th place. The Long Walk at 7th. The Hamilton, the recording of the stage thing.
The thing that you can watch on Disney Plus and have been able to watch on Disney Plus for 5 years now, made $10 million opening weekend at the box office.
Strangers Chapter 2, number 9, and then a re-release of Toy Story.
30th anniversary. Yeah. Shout out.
Now he's old enough to drink.
Old enough to drink. Those toys, they can get fucked up now.
Whoa.
Okay. Tucker, wouldn't that be cool to see? That's gonna be. Toy Story 6.
Dude, wait, the Sausage Party team makes Toy Story?
Oh, dude, that'd be so fucking funny, bro. Holy shit.
Because it'd be animated and it'd also be inappropriate.
That's true. You think it's for kids because it's a cartoon, but it's not. It's for cool grown-ups.
Animation is a medium. You just have to get over the 1-inch barrier. AKA Woody's penis is Woody. I don't know. Whatever.
Tucker, let's move on. And see quickly how our predictions for September compared.
Oh wait,
not bad.
We were not blindsided. Never mind. I forgot we put Demon Slayer in our top fives.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't expect it to make $70 million.
Yeah, well, I mean, frankly, I will give it to the rollout of Demon Slayer to not be blindsiding us, because it came out in Japan like a couple months ago, and like it was just making tons and tons of money over there, and that just sort of like snowballed into its U.S. release. But we both had Conjuring at number 1. Was the closest to its release when we made this video, or we made last month's video rather. Demon Slayer number 2. You had Downton Abbey at number 3.
Yeah.
I didn't have it in my top 5, so props to you for putting it there.
Yeah.
I did have
Tanner,
one battle after another. Yeah.
You win, yeah. But here's the thing. You win, but like we were really parallel. Obviously, we shared 4 in the slots. Yeah. But Downton Abbey and One Battle After Another did not open that far apart.
They did not.
Which is an interesting comparison. Again, different demographics pulled out in a similar amount. Even to also Gabby's Dollhouse, which we both put in our top 5 there at the bottom place. And we over-predicted him a little.
We did.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the reception of him as well, but just quickly for posterity's sake, for my numbers, I said The Conjuring Last Rites would make $75 million, and made like $10 million more than that.
Yeah, but so I would give you props for that one, because I would not have predicted it that high.
Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, I said 55. It like pretty well outperformed that. I was a little high on One Battle After Another. I guessed $30 million. Same goes for him. Probably most embarrassingly, I said $25 million for him.
That's different.
And then Gabby's Dollhouse, I said 20.
Sure. Yeah, I feel like most months you over predict, like almost.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to take a look at your October ones and adjust them down just a little bit?
Tucker, we'll get that bridge. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, baby. First of all, we got to look at the cinema scores and Rotten Tomatoes. Look at the smattering.
Yeah, but who's that up at the top? Gabby and her Dollhouse at the only A+ of the month. What the hell?
She's getting a gold star on her book report with that A+. Hello.
Hey, actually, looks like certified fresh as well.
Certified fresh as well. Big hits. Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations to Gabby's Dollhouse. I mean, obviously that's not the kind of movie that we were going to watch. I remember being just attacked from behind when that trailer played the first time. I was like, is this a real thing? What the fuck are you talking about? DreamWorks? What the fuck is this?
What is this? Yeah.
But they did it. Apparently it's a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's also the kind of thing where like these kinds of movies will always get an A+ cinema score, because you're playing to a very specific demographic who is like predetermined to love this thing, basically, which is like 5-year-olds who are going to the theater and be like, Gabby was in it, I like it, and you're like, yep, A+, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we did have a really wide smattering of scores here.
Yeah.
A's for Demon Slayer and One Battle After Another, and A- for Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues. B for the horror or thrillers of the month, The Conjuring Last Rites and The Long Walk.
And
a
B-
C-
for the horror movies.
Yep, exactly. And then a B- for One Big Bold Beautiful Journey. I guess that checks out with a B there.
The big, bold, beautiful journey of this month.
That's right. And then, I mean, honestly, you had some clumpings up towards the top, in the 90, 85 to 90 range on Rotten Tomatoes. And then you had some stinkers down there as well with Strangers and Him and Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey.
Yeah, it's interesting as we'll move into The Conjuring Last Rites that it wasn't received glowingly. 57%, it is rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. It's not very good, but it didn't matter. Because
absolutely not.
This movie has made almost $500 million. Tanner, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Tanner, that's so silly. This movie almost made 10 times its budget.
Yeah, it's nuts.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to say for this one. Because it is... what I was going to say earlier is not only is it the 4th Conjuring, main Conjuring movie, not only is it like the 9th Conjuring universe movie, but even me, I'm a big fan of horror movies, and I even really like the Conjuring universe just in general. I like the concept. I like Ed and Lorraine Warren, and I liked this movie a lot actually.
Yeah.
I barely remembered this was coming out. I only saw a couple of trailers. I didn't hear anyone talking about it pre-release, and so this is actually the one to take the superlative from Demon Slayer. I would give it to Conjuring Last Rites as just totally blindsiding me in terms of like,
sure,
people care. What are you talking about? What do you mean, people? What do you mean this movie made $84 million its opening weekend? What the fuck are you talking about? So, we both have our doctorates, right? We're both medical professionals.
Definitely.
So let's do a little diagnostic here. Let's do a little medical analysis. If you had to diagnose why this movie hit, because it hit and then some.
Yeah.
Why would you say Conjuring the Last Rites in 2025 was a massive hit?
I think that it's a confluence of things. I think this series as a whole has built up a lot of goodwill, especially with people in our age demographic, 18 to 34. For people our age, Tucker, I mean, the series started about 10 years ago, like right in line with when, I don't know about you, but I assume, but for me personally, like we were 12, 13 years old. Yeah. Our friends were getting together. We were having scary movie nights, watching movies at each other's basements and things like that. And this came out right at that flashpoint and was a big hit. And like this movie's really scary. It's got some really intense stuff in it. And then like The Conjuring 2 came out and was like even bigger on a production scale. And then it was also glumming onto the cinematic universe sort of things that was really bubbling over at that time as well, with some of the Annabelle movies also being quite big hits. So it has just lodged itself into the cultural consciousness for modern moviegoers as like the big horror series of like
it is
the newest one, essentially.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And I think this one really traded on the fact like the epic conclusion, the last story from Ed and Lorraine Warren, like that was all the trailers was just hammering in on that. I think there's also a little bit of a dearth of horror movies at this point. I mean, Weapons had basically run its course by this point. It came out a month after Weapons. And again, Warner Brothers is just on a hot streak of really, I mean, they had Weapons and then bowling that right into Conjuring Last Rites. I think they definitely played the Last Rites trailer before Weapons as well, just to get that lodged in people's minds with one of the biggest and most talked about movies of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I think you diagnose why. If I'm to give you some medical props, you diagnose why.
Thank you.
A very specific age demographic relates to, in whatever way that means, this franchise. But what I'm confused about is why it was this particular movie, because this is an outsized success even compared to the other main Conjuring movies. Conjuring 1 and 2 both are around $300 million. This is a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Like this is the biggest Conjuring universe, or is it bigger than The Nun? Isn't that...
I mean,
yes,
you
got The Nun 2 there.
Yes, which made 270.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely the highest grossing of the entire series.
Yeah, let me just
of the entire universe.
The Nun made $366 million. So I mean that's also fucking what the fuck. But I don't know. I mean I gotta get my license revoked, I guess, because I'm going through my rule book here. I'm going to the DSM 45, and I'm like, I don't see anything in here that properly diagnoses why.
Yeah.
Because if this movie had made $300 million, we'd be like, man, that's really good. This series has got some great staying power. You know, it's mixed on Rotten Tomatoes, so like, it's not huge, but something was in the water this weekend, and everyone just suddenly cared about The Conjuring.
Like, obviously, it did very well domestically. We wouldn't be talking about it in these terms if it didn't. But I think there's also something to the overseas performance of this as well, and that's a little bit harder for us to wrap our minds around, just because it's different culture and things like that. But these movies are
they're
always
different
like,
from us, then therefore worse, and I don't like.
Nah, I didn't say that, Tucker.
No,
I did not say
did.
that. But,
I did.
Okay. Sorry. Just to be clear here, folks. But what I will say is this: is that I think these movies do really well overseas, especially in Latin American markets, where the box office is kind of growing over the last couple of years, because they're like very rooted in Catholicism and like Catholic culture. They're Catholic horror movies, essentially. I think that really speaks to those demographics and why these movies. I mean, it's made $284 million internationally. It's a huge hit overseas as well.
Yeah.
So, unlike another horror film that came out this month that really flopped overseas because it was tapping into something distinctly American. But we'll get to that in due time.
Yes, we will. 1 week later, after the Conjuring Last Rites, The Long Walk released from Sir Francis Lawrence. That's what I call him. I don't think he's.
Oh, sure. I don't even think he's British.
Francis Lawrence. That's such a British name, dude. 1 second, Francis.
Yeah, find out. Look this up for me.
American film director.
Damn.
But that's a really British sounding name. Yeah, The Long Walk came out and really, really good reviews. 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, and on a $20 million budget, it has doubled that at 43. Yeah. I think that we were probably expecting a little bit wider appeal from this movie because of Stephen King. But there's nothing bad about this. It's got great reviews. I thought it was a very good movie. I took my brother to it. He really liked it.
I liked it a lot too. Yeah,
and it doubled its budget. So I mean, people are happy.
Yeah. This is a Lionsgate picture, so they're not expecting a huge hit to come out of that house anyway. If it doesn't have John Wick attached to it, they're not expecting anything massive.
Well, and this doubling its budget is like, I mean that. Breaking even is rare for them.
Yes.
So this is gonna fund like another half dozen shit ass fucking movies that no one cares about.
Exactly. But no, certainly I think it is. I thought it was going to be a bigger hit just because I think the marketing looked really enticing. And like it's selling itself as like from the director of Hunger Games, which just on concept alone, this movie has some things in common with.
Yes, it does. Yeah, I remember like just think about like the world building of this. I'm like, this Francis Lawrence guy, he's got a type.
Yeah. So I definitely thought it was going to be bigger, just because I think the trailers really sold what actually ended up being a very good movie. I like this one a lot too. But I think it also I put in some stuff here of like maybe why it wasn't as big. I mean, it came out the same weekend, and we'll talk about it in a couple of slides, as Demon Slayer, which was pulling in a lot of the same demographics that this film was targeting as well. That 18 to 34 market is the prime movie going age, and 61% of this film's opening weekend gross came from that demographic, and Demon Slayer was pulling in 71. So it was definitely vying for a similar sort of young male demographic, especially.
Yeah. Put on Lionsgate's release calendar in April 2025. Oh, okay, so yeah.
Yeah. This is a late announcement, too.
Yeah,
exactly. It was the beginning of April 2025. So, like, also we're putting this out. I believe that was around the same time that they confirmed that they would be removing Saw 11 from the release calendar and replaced it with The Strangers Chapter 2, which also,
as we'll talk about. Yeah, and you got to give props to Francis Lawrence. I actually think that this is... I'm glad that he was able to step outside of the Hunger Games, which he has rarely done, actually, especially since he started doing it. He made Red Sparrow in,
he did make Red, and he made... I saw another one that he made, because this is, I think, one of his lowest openings, but he made another one. What was it? I can't remember. Hang on.
My point for Francis Lawrence, shout out to him. I'm glad he's diversifying. It's a very good movie. He is a very solid director. And he's one of the secret feathers in the cap for Lionsgate, because obviously the Snakes was decent, but now they have a different non-Hunger Games movie coming from him that's making a good amount of money for them, and he's got another Hunger Games movie coming quite soon. So
next year.
He's clipping along. He's got a niche.
Yeah, I said John Wick earlier, but I was at Lionsgate. Anything that doesn't have John Wick or Hunger Games attached to it, they're not expecting a huge turnout from. Yes. And the movie Tucker I was thinking of is, of course, I don't know how this one slipped my mind. It's such a totemic film. Water for Elephants is the one that I forgot.
Was that a big hit? I don't know what that is. I've never heard of
it. That was just like his other like non-Hunger Games movie that came out in like the past 15 years or whatever.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to The Long Walk. Good movie.
Yeah. Good movie, like it a lot. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention here was the linear advertising budget was about $3 to $4 million. Just keep that in the back of your head for when we get to Demon Slayer, because I think that's something really interesting that happened with that film. Sure. But first, Tucker, let's quickly talk about This is Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues. This was a very niche play, a decades later sequel to a cult classic mockumentary. This is Spinal Tap. Rob Reiner returns, the original cast returning for this as well. The pre-production on this actually started, I learned, after Harry Shearer, who is one of the writers and stars of the film, won a years-long lawsuit for the music and film rights a couple of years ago. This was sort of in limbo, or was being like held down by, I think it was maybe Warner Music, one of those big music license companies, was holding down the rights to this. But they got it back and made a sequel that's about the band getting back together.
Yeah, I will say, I think this just feels like passion project. They thought it'd be funny.
Yeah.
And you thought it was okay.
Fine.
I didn't see it. I thought I've seen Spinal Tap. I don't really think about it particularly often, so I wasn't jazzed to go see a sequel. Or like a legacy sequel. It's a weird movie to get a legacy sequel.
Definitely.
But no one really cared.
No, I mean it's targeting again a very specific demographic. The demographic that I basically saw it with, which is old white guys, a 74% male and 60% age 45 and over for the opening weekend demographics there.
Interesting, I did not know this. Spinal Tap, Rob Reiner's directorial debut.
Yeah, absolutely it was.
And I'm just looking at Rob Reiner, I'm like, oh, dude, Rob Reiner, like what a storied list of movies. The last time he made a movie that I think was
notable,
culturally impactful or notable was like the 90s. Well, I would say A Few Good Men was like the last time that one of his movies like broke out
through
and has had staying power. But I mean, he's Spinal Tap, Stand By Me, Princess Bride, Harry Met Sally, Misery, and Few Good Men. All of that within like 10 years is insane.
He notoriously has one of like the greatest runs a director ever had. It's just that 80s to 90s run. It's like, God damn, this guy's on fire.
8 years, Tanner. All those movies within 8 years, and something called The Sure Thing. I've never heard of that, but congratulations to Rob Reiner, and cool that he's coming back. Cool that he's still got it in him. But
he's in it. He's in the movie too, as he is in This Is Spinal Tap. Like because he plays Marty de Bergerac or something. He plays like the director of the mockument or the documentary that the movie is mocking or whatever. So yeah, it's pretty neat. It's pretty good. Opening week. Oh yeah, the projections on this were like $3 to $5 million opening weekend, and it made $1.5 million.
Man.
Yeah. But I also read that VOD is a big market for this. Again, it's targeting an older demographic who is more likely to just buy these things on their TV when they're available. So.
Whoa, Tanner.
What?
Go look up Francis Lawrence. He looks almost exactly like Bradley Cooper.
Tucker, I do see that. I see that in his. It's kind of in his eyes and his nose. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. That's wow.
Bradley Cooper, I finally have your Oscar-winning role.
A biopic about the director of the Hunger Games movies?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Sure. Let's move on to Demon Slayer Infinity Castle.
The big boy. The big hoss.
Yeah. Which, in terms of overall success, I think we should have thought about a little bit more, looking at how the 2020, the last Demon Slayer movie in 2020 made $500 million. Which I guess I just never looked into. I just didn't really know. That was before we really started tracking box office stuff. And sitting at $543 million total. Again, only in a little over 2 weeks. Actually, I don't know how it's still going. But
$543 million, to be clear, that is like it's worldwide total. And as I mentioned, it's been out in Japan since like this summer.
Yeah. But it is across the century mark domestic in
just
a couple weeks.
It did.
So congratulations to the Demon Slayer community, because you guys really like the stuff that they make for you. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never seen any of this.
Just
outside of my wheelhouse. Tanner, could you name a character from Demon Slayer?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Hang on.
Hey, Anna.
Hey, Anna. Name a character from Demon Slayer. Just any character? Tanjiro, Tucker. Tanjiro is, well, of course, one of the most famous characters from that huge hit anime. To that end, in preparation for this movie, my girlfriend Anna did watch all of Demon Slayer and then went to go see the movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you didn't join in on any of that?
I didn't join in because at the time I was seeing one battle after another.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, this was a massive hit, and I think for the industry probably marks is a demarcation of like a huge shift towards like these things are huge hits.
Yeah.
There is a massive audience for them in the States and obviously abroad. And we will probably, I guess, maybe start to see more of these kind of things trickle through, although Sony and Crunchyroll kind of have the monopoly on this. For the time being. I saw many people joke that the lesson the industry will take from the success of Infinity Castle is that they should make a live-action Demon Slayer movie.
Well, isn't a series happening? I think live-action adaptation is.
Is that true? Let's find out.
Maybe I was just hearing that online, but...
I was also going to look up, because to my knowledge, again, we're talking out of our ass here, because neither of us really know. I believe the reason this is such a huge outsized hit, beating the Mugen Train from 5 years ago, is because this is, like, the beginning of the end of Demon Slayer. Sure. I think there are 2 more planned movies coming that will be, like, capping off the series.
Yeah, but Taryn, I want you to just think about what you said.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the end, we got 2 more movies coming.
Yeah, exactly. This movie is long. It's like 2.5 hours long or something like that. Well, it's crazy.
From what I think I heard somewhere, it's just like 3 episodes of the show. Like it's not even like structured.
That is what all of these movies, these anime movies are. Is that they're just they just take the episodes and kind of like cut the intros and credits off and kind of stitch them together a little bit. If you watch any anime that has been a movie, basically you're like, oh, I can see how this can be a film if put together correctly.
Yeah, just like a little arc.
Yeah, exactly. Essentially because I think I heard that this film here is like a lot. It's like fight, backstory of a character, fight, backstory of a character.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder because we've seen so much success in streaming and in TV shows recently, where the people going to see movies in theaters has dipped over the last few years. I mean, it's holding decently steady, but it's definitely down from where it was, especially pre-pandemic. But on the flip side, streaming and the fan base of shows, just generally people watching television content, has grown. And so I wonder if there is space for some of this not from anime, like the theatrical releases of like more special presentations from popular television shows, or even like you take 3 like I don't know, like you take 3 episodes of the next season of Severance to put it into theaters and see what happens. Like
honestly, I mean that could definitely do well. I could definitely see that doing well for sure. But yeah, just to speak a little bit more definitively to some of the accolades and superlatives of this film, it is the highest grossing Japanese film of all time.
That's insane.
Yep. It is the biggest U.S. opening weekend for any international film.
That's amazing.
Wait,
ever?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
$70 million opening weekend, yeah. Blew it out of the water.
Here's the crazy thing about this. This is an insane set of superlatives. Congratulations to this team for this movie. I'm never going to remember either of those things. And so if you ask me in 2 months, what's the highest grossing Japanese film, I'll probably still be like, was it Godzilla? Is it Ghibli movie? Like, and then someone's be like, oh no, it was the new Demon Slayer. Like, oh, are you serious? Like,
the Demon Slayer from a couple months ago.
Like, this is gonna be a fun fact to me every few months when I relearn it.
Yeah. 2 other things I really wanted to note here, because I think this is for as huge this movie was, I think it is still kind of a special case and not something that can be really replicated by standard Hollywood studios, because this movie Sony spent less than $1 million in linear advertising, which means TV ads, basically.
Yeah.
Because they were just this audience had inbuilt things, and they spent a lot of it advertising it on like Crunchyroll. For example.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, because Are there anime TV shows or TV channels?
Like linear channels,
Yeah.
like cable channels or whatever. No.
For anime? Yeah.
No, I mean there's anime airs on like Adult Swim and stuff
Yeah,
like that, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I watched obviously Pokemon and Bakugan and stuff was like on Cartoon Network or whatever when I was a kid, but like,
Right.
yeah, like, was Demon Slayer ever on TV?
I mean, in Japan it's on TV. I have to assume, but like in the United States, I don't think you can watch it on like channel surfing as the kids say.
Yeah, I don't know.
Actually, they don't say that.
No.
Kids don't say that. And finally, last thing I thought was pretty interesting. There was very little walk-up business for this. 67%, 2/3 of the opening weekend tickets were bought a week or more in advance.
Well, because then you know what this indicates, and I think given its gigantic success right out of the gate, it's obvious, this is event programming.
Definitely.
This is, people are like, oh shit, I gotta go see this. They're keeping up with when the tickets drop, and they realize that it's going to be hard to get tickets, so they pre-order their tickets.
Yes.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly. But yeah, I think that just speaks to like, yes, while this is a hit, a much bigger hit than many standard industry tracking was denoting, that like a lot of this still comes from an inbuilt audience, a hardcore audience, not a general public audience.
Oh no, of course. Yeah, I mean like, no, yeah, who
Yeah.
Who the hell is going to go see this if you're not already a fan?
Exactly.
It's just interesting to think about my relation or your relation to specifically anime theatrical releases. The only two anime movies, like based off of a show, that I've seen in theaters are My Hero Academia 2 Heroes, which I saw in 2018 with a couple of friends, and the Pokemon movie where Pikachu talks. Like not Detective Pikachu. It was called like Pokemon the movie I Choose You, I think.
Sure,
Pikachu
I believe you.
Voiced for whatever fucking reason.
Yeah.
And I remember both of those being like some of the first movies I ever had to look into getting tickets early because they would fill up really fast.
Interesting.
So it's been a thing for like.
Yeah.
It's a big event programming. Because also I do think that for specifically those, they were like very limited release. Like see it for like a week. That was like the only time it was going to be in theaters.
Right.
And which is not the case anymore. I mean, I think Demon Slayer, is it still in theaters? I'm not sure.
It may have left theaters by now. But well, I can check for you. But
latest dailies still have it on Box Office Mojo in the top 5. So.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure it's still. I have never seen an anime film in theaters. I don't watch a whole lot of anime. I leave that for Anna basically. Though she
watches enough for the both of you.
She definitely does. I have been watching Dandadan with her, and they did release a Dandadan movie over the summer, which I could have gone to see, but now I've just I've seen that and more basically on Netflix already. So,
moving on to another horror release, Him.
Yep.
Not too much to say here. It just missed the mark.
It did. Yeah.
$23 million total on a $27 million budget means this movie is not making its money back.
No.
And it's also something that I think I had much higher hopes for. Than
Me too. I definitely thought it was going. I thought it was going to open to this.
Oh yeah.
It just really. I think it's just we talked about like a new Hollywood phenomenon. This is a old classic Hollywood phenomenon of people word getting out that hey, this movie is not that good actually, and that really hurting it. I tried to get the numbers that reflect that, and I think if you look there at the bottom, the Friday to Sunday dailies dropped basically 33 to 43% from Friday to Saturday to Sunday due to those poor reviews, and something that I did not think about, because in the lead up to this, I was like, Him, we've never had like a sports horror movie before. It's coming out in the middle of towards the beginning of football season. I think it could really capture an audience with that. Something I did not consider is coming out in football season means that people who like football are watching football on Sunday and Saturday for that matter.
Then I wonder when the right time to release a football adjacent movie is
late August, I guess, before things really start.
Yeah, but Tanner, they were pretty September 19th. I don't know. Yeah. I probably. Yeah. But also nobody goes see fucking movies in August.
Yeah, it's a good point.
But also, Tanner,
yeah,
people don't really go see movies in September either. September is also notoriously a down month. And this month actually had a couple of movies surprise. But this is kind of where movies go to die.
A little bit. So yeah, I mean, 41. It had a low definite recommend from Post-Track. 41% of the opening weekend audience said they would definitely recommend the movie. It's got a 31% on Rotten Tomatoes, a C- cinema score. It's kind of a stinker. And as we'll talk about this one and the next movie we'll talk about, both were scripts that came from the Blacklist, which are supposedly the best unproduced scripts every year that Hollywood or that writers vote on.
Yeah.
So, anything else to say about him, Tucker? I think, it just missed.
It is interesting for specifically him. I mean, I'll also say, I guess, A Big Bold Beautiful Journey, which is up next. I would say the script is the worst part of both of those movies.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think the performances were good in him. I think all of the production design and just the general direction of the film was actually quite strong, and I praised it quite strongly for that in our review. But it doesn't come together. Some of the dialogue's a little bit choppy, and that is specifically true for A Big Bold Beautiful Journey, which actually opened. Sorry, I was still thinking Spinal Tap. I'm like, but Big Bold Beautiful Journey opening to $3.2 million on a budget of $45 million. Oh no.
Yeah. I mean, hey, Tucker, this is a movie that looks good.
Yeah, well, sure.
It's a movie that looks quite sumptuous and has some I guess some effects and things like that going on, and you have two very big stars that you have to pay to be in this movie, and what it all amounted to a hill of beans for Sony and everyone involved with A Big Bold Beautiful Journey. It's the lowest opening for Sony, a Sony distributed film this year. Wow. It's very funny that I didn't have to really change that top bullet point from when this slide last month was caught stealing.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Interesting.
But I mean, this opened even lower than that, and a little mean. This is a little mean, but I just thought it was kind of interesting that from Margot Robbie, who was the star, the face of the biggest movie of last year. Or sorry, 2 years ago. Excuse me, 2 years ago, Barbie. This was her direct follow-up. She did not make a movie in 2024, but in 2025, this is this film that she made, and it opened 97.8% lower than Barbie did. Which I know it's an IP and a summer blockbuster, etc., but like, I mean, I think where they went wrong with this is marketing it as like a rom-com, which it is not.
But like, what do you market it as a drama, and that's even less like general appeal right now. And also, it's not a rom-com, but like it kind of is. Like,
I think you pitch it at you have to sell it as what it is. Otherwise, people are going to have an adverse reaction to it, like they did. 36% on Rotten Tomatoes, a B- cinema score. People are going to have an adverse reaction. Just sell it as what it is. It's like an arty art house sort of surreal exploration of these two people's a relationship or whatever, and you got big movie stars in it. Like, that should be enough to get some people in the door. Now, it also has to get over the hurdle of it's not very good.
That is true. Yeah, that's its biggest hurdle for me, obviously. I would not recommend people watch this movie, which is unfortunate because I like everyone involved in it, but I think this is a real downturn for all of them.
I mean, they tried. I mean, obviously, you try to sell all movies as like cool and exciting and things like that, but that is just not what this movie is. No. It is quite slow and deliberate and surreal.
It's also a weird one to come from Sony because this movie's got like big Neon or A24 vibes, where I do think those kind of studios might have done a little bit better job at marketing this to their audience, right? If you saw the A24 logo in fucking umbrellas, right? Like right at the beginning of it, I think that might have pulled in an audience for this kind of art house movie a little bit stronger than Sony Pictures Classics, which they actually more are in the area of dramas, right? But this movie, vibes-wise, doesn't quite fit in with
It was also supposed to come out in like early May, and weirdly enough, I think that might have been like a better window for it because there's always that sort of like indie programmer kind of thing in early May. I feel like that tries to like be a little bit of counter programming to the start of the summer blockbuster season, but no, then they just like randomly pushed this into middle of September, which kind of led some people to believe like, oh, are they going for like an award season sort of situation with this? But then but they don't play it at any festivals or anything like that, and it just comes out to a wet fart, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean this is not helping anyone. And Seth Rice, your script, which appeared on the 2020 blacklist. I mean, I wish you the best. Write a better movie next time, because like I'm not gonna go watch a Seth Rice written movie like intentionally now. I'm like I'm a little wary.
Or even Kogonada, in his defense of this movie, it's the first film of his that he did not write and direct.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean the last film that he directed after Yang, another collaboration with Colin Farrell, is a phenomenal film. It's easily my favorite Kogonada film.
Yeah.
So I go back to that, buddy.
I guess so. Yeah. I don't know. It's a tough one. I think it's a real black mark especially for Margot Robbie and Colin. I think, especially.
Well, yeah, but like, Margot Robbie is gonna be.
She's gonna be fine.
Everyone's gonna be fine. This is just gonna be like, it's a weird footnote for everyone.
Yeah, it'll be a weird footnote, definitely.
Sony is the only one that's really gonna get hurt by this because financially.
Oh yeah, I mean, $15 million on a $45 million budget. Yeah.
But Colin and Margot made great money on this, I'm sure, given the the surprisingly large budget for this.
Right.
You'd hope also Kogonada got paid well as well. And they're going to be able to all make more movies. So, sorry, Sony. Seth Rice kind of took you on the back and like shot
but also, speaking of footnotes, Tucker, this is a footnote on their balance sheet with Demon Slayer out this month too. So.
Oh, that's an interesting point.
Yeah,
that's a great point.
So I don't think it makes matters a whole lot to them either.
Yeah.
All right,
Tanner, it's time.
Okay.
The only movie this month that matters.
That's right. Big time. It's one battle after another.
They're saying, Tanner, the streets are saying, best movie ever made by the history of humanity? What the
That's
hell?
Right. Best thing to ever come out of the art form from Paul Thomas Anderson, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Chase Infinity, Tiana Taylor, a whole big cast of folks here. A 96 on Rotten Tomatoes, 8.5 from IMDb, an A cinema score. A budget of, and this has been a little bit of a point of contention amongst people talking about this movie. Budget of $130 million on the low end, mind you. There has been unconfirmed reports of this movie being maybe 140, 150, things like that. So, I mean, it just recently crossed $100 million worldwide. Will continue to. It'll be in theaters. I have this down there as well. Warner Brothers reportedly has interest in keeping this movie in theaters as long as it can.
That's very
though it is losing some of its premier IMAX premium large format screens to Taylor Swift and then Tron coming out in next week. But they will keep it in theaters and just hope that the groundswell of chatter about this film being really great continues.
Good buzz.
Yes.
Yeah, and what to me is, what do I think the most interesting element of this is? I think giving this kind of movie $130 million budget is bold and exciting, and for me as a box office guy specifically on this show, is like a good sign for the art, but not for the finances. But I also do think that what they see in PTA and Leonardo DiCaprio, a great pairing of legendary creatives, and what this movie will probably turn out to be, an incredibly strong awards play where they're not making their money back on this movie, but this is not going to. Not immediately. This movie's not going to make $300 million.
not immediately. I mean, I did. Yeah, I think I saw that 200 is apparently the break even for this thing.
Interesting, which would be because the other interesting element of this movie is it had really strange marketing. I think it had bad marketing. And for months, I've been underselling this movie in terms of what I thought its potential success level would be, is because I thought the marketing was poor. Though, to Warner Brothers' credit, and actually they've been pretty good about this in the last few years. They pulled it around in those last couple of weeks with like TikTok campaigns and memes and like all this stuff, just like marketing for One Battle After Another just like came out of the woodwork. I was like, well, what the heck? But that meant that there wasn't like a strong, hard marketing campaign for months that would lead to needing to double this budget. Like, they didn't spend $130 million marketing One Battle After Another because they undermarketed it for months.
Yeah. Though I think that, again, that at this point now, it is sort of marketing itself a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
Just because, I mean, for going on 2 weeks now, people all over Twitter, TikTok, things like that have just been talking about this. And there's been a discourse aplenty about it and about its themes and about its characters and things like that. It is a complex work of art from Paul Thomas Anderson that also has some really crowd-pleasing elements. It is exactly what PTA wanted to make and probably what Warner Brothers wanted. If, you know, at this point in the year, if you were voting on Best Picture, it would win, and is the strong favorite to win come March or whatever. Though there's a lot of clock. Yeah. There's a lot of time left on that clock yet.
Which is actually, and maybe this is too big of a conversation to start in the middle of our box office episode, but
sure.
It's an interesting position to be in, where I don't know what that necessarily means for its success through the end of the award season, which is like half a year from now,
right?
Ostensibly, because we actually can look back quite strongly at the last few years, especially with the Oscars, and see a pretty solid trend of a movie getting this kind of level of acclaim and losing steam before the end of the award season, where it's the obvious front runner, and then something comes from the bottom and really challenges, and then we get something like Coda winning over Power of the Dog, or Parasite beating 1917, or Fableman's not winning. Like, there is this track record. So I don't know if, like, as of now, yes, you're right. I would say this is most likely, but in some way, because I'm saying that now, I don't know if it will be true 5 months from now.
A month ago, if you asked me that question, and if you said if Best Picture voting was held right now, what would win? I would have said, Sinners would probably win Best Picture if you asked people to vote right now. And now it would be different. And in 6 months, when the voting actually happens, it could also be different again. But you know, there's a little bit of an overdue thing for PTA at this point. He's never won any kind of Oscar, and it feels like if it's going to happen, it would kind of be this one.
You think, well, because another interesting track record with those movies that we mentioned where they kind of lose their steam is they do pretty consistently win Best Director.
Yes.
Jane Campion won, Steven Spielberg won.
That's a good point, Tucker. Tucker, that's actually a fantastic point.
So, hey, PTA, you're coming for the Oscar. Maybe not the one you want, but a great one nonetheless. One last thing about One Battle After Another is it's got its success in the area that it is succeeding in, but it broke the streak, Tanner. It broke the Warner Brothers legendary 40 million plus opening streak of what, 7 movies, 8 movies?
So Conjuring was number 7, and we skipped over the little tick notes on that one as well. Yeah. But I did have it down at the bottom there. That was number 7 for them, which actually broke the record because, as somebody online pointed out, Disney actually did, I believe, 6 in a row. Back in like 2018, 2019. But if you just like Google Disney movies or whatever, it doesn't paint the full picture for you because if you also have to throw in the Marvels and the Star Wars into that Disney pile. So, but with 7, I believe Warner Brothers has now become actually the first one to do that.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's neither here nor there. That was just an interesting statistic to follow throughout the course of the year. But this movie, even though it breaks that streak that Warner Brothers was on, it still is a very, very, very solid feather in the cap. Not necessarily financially, but just generally of Warner Brothers having a really incredible year and dominating the conversation. Again, I would consider this, even though Conjuring was much bigger, that movie's really already lost all of its conversational steam.
Mm-hmm.
One battle after another does, and I think probably will have the potential to maintain conversation again, still all the way through reward season, which is like it's going to be around for a while.
It will be around for a while, and I think that also is kind of the note I want to end the budgetary making its money back in theaters note on, is that this movie is going to be around for a long time. It'll be pushed out again in theaters when it gets nominated for Best Picture inevitably, and it's just going to be like a huge lasting movie, I think, culturally.
Sure.
For especially for the moment it came out in. I will also say one last thing, that Warner Brothers doesn't have another movie until Wuthering Heights in February.
Interesting. Huh.
So, if you are asking the fine folks at the Warner Brothers marketing department what they will be doing for the next 6 months, it will probably be pushing one battle after another as the best picture front
and getting ready for Wuthering Heights, which I think does have some really massive potential.
I think so too.
Tanner, I think that trailer's sick. I think that trailer's great.
It's certainly a stylish trailer where you're like, I can see exactly what is being sold here, and Tucker, I think you're right. I think it'll be a big hit for that reason and that reason alone. I'd maybe look to the success of things like 50 Shades of Grey for how that movie might turn out.
Interesting. Which is financially a very good place to look to.
Absolutely it is.
And
okay,
let's look towards the Dollhouse, Tanner. Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie.
Crack open that dollhouse. Who's inside? It's Kristen Wiig and DreamWorks, I guess. I don't know anybody else.
Crack open that dollhouse?
You know how you like open a dollhouse up?
I guess so, yeah. But the way you said it, it made it sound like you were like cracking open a cold one. Crack open that dollhouse with the boys.
Cracking open a dollhouse with some third graders, you know?
What do we have to say about Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie?
Neither of us saw it.
What?
Yeah, sorry, Tucker. I'm sorry to break that news to you.
I thought you went and saw every movie, Tanner. That's like your thing. That's the kind of guy you are.
I did not see every movie. Particularly this one, which was, fairly well reviewed. We already talked about the cinema score and things like that. I had a concern that it was going to be this big, huge thing. That was my concern. That like, is it totally gonna be a as you mentioned, Tucker, something that sneaks up behind you? It wasn't. It opened to $13 million. Has a budget of 32. It's made that back so far. It is a solid, fine hit for DreamWorks at this point. But it's kind of, at the same time, kind of exactly what you expected a little bit. The demographics and everything, and the hit size of it is kind of nothing crazy, I guess, is the story for Gabby's Dollhouse.
But it is also good to look at. $32 million is actually pretty conservative for a movie of this kind. It has made that back, and what this really is a long-term, child-friendly play to just keep this movie around, running in the background of fucking daycares and shit like that, and, and obviously selling plenty of toys and merchandise and related things. But this is just going to enter that circle of movies that are just put on for kids.
This will go to Netflix fairly quickly, I would imagine, because that is where this IP was born in 2021. I didn't realize it was that recent of a thing. Also, especially because if you look here, Tucker, started in 2021, is starting its 12th season soon.
What the fuck? Wait.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. I gotta actually just look up. What is this? Is the show live action?
I think the show is animated.
Okay, it's the... now I just have to think about what I saw in the trailer.
It might be like the intro is live action, and then she like goes into the dollhouse and becomes a cartoon.
Yeah, okay. It's just like a CoComelon like low budget animated thing. Okay.
Definitely.
That makes sense. Yeah. You assume that episodes are like 15 minutes long and they fucking turn out a bunch of them.
If that, yeah.
Okay, but 12 seasons makes sense there. I thought this was like a Blue's Clues like live action like the hybrid thing, but I mean this is the movie.
Yes.
The show is like YouTube kids level shit.
Yeah, and what it is like YouTube Kids in the way that it is the most watched children's programming on Netflix. Gabby's Dollhouse.
Oh wow,
is.
okay.
Which is another thing where I was like, is this going to be huge? So those are just the things that were rolling over in the back of my mind. I just saw this from one of the articles I was looking at. 4 million Gabby's Dollhouse branded dollhouses have been sold since the show started in 2021. 4 million.
Shout out, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know what to say there.
Yeah.
But what this does get me thinking of, Tanner.
What's it thinking
of? The other big streaming animated kids thing for like little slobbering fucking barely functional humans that's coming is the Cocomelon movie.
The Cocomelon movie.
And how that's going to do. Because I think putting these movies into theaters is almost perfunctory. Mm-hmm. What they exist as is what I'm saying. Of like, it doesn't matter how much money it makes in theaters. Because, like, 2-year-olds aren't going to see movies in theaters. Especially ones born since the pandemic. Like, they're not, like, they're not only barely functional as people, but, like, they don't associate going to theaters with much of anything, right?
No, they don't have a concept of it. It's not like making it even a show for like 8-year-olds or whatever, then putting it in theaters where they have an idea of like, oh, this is a place I can go to and see this thing.
Yeah.
Like the demographic for Gabby's Dollhouse doesn't have that in their mind. Their parents can just show this to them whenever. They have the memory of a goldfish.
Well, and to that point, I think the reason why, even though biggest Netflix children's programming, whatever, why it didn't have a massive opening is as a parent, you can either go take your kid to see Gabby's Dollhouse the movie, or you could put on 3 episodes of Gabby's Dollhouse at home.
Yeah, and wait and not spend any money except on your Netflix subscription and just wait a couple months and you can show this to your kid. Yeah.
Yes. And they're not like, oh, I gotta go see it now.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
that's
not
feeling
point. Left out of the discourse.
Yeah, that's my point exactly. With
Gabby's Dollhouse fans don't have FOMO, Tanner.
Yeah, except for this is not something like the Super Mario Brothers movie or whatever.
True.
Where
I see what you're saying.
or the Minecraft movie for a more recent example of like kids see that and they're like, Mom, Dad, take me to the movie theater so I can see that.
Yeah.
The Gabby's Dollhouse fans are not doing that.
But what about the Strangers fans?
Tucker, they weren't going out.
They
anyways.
don't exist.
They don't exist. 19% on Rotten Tomatoes, a C- cinema score. This went over very, very poorly for Lionsgate. I went to go see this just for the hell of it because I'm like, I Tucker feel like I now have a level of investment that apparently the people who went to go see The Strangers Chapter 1 last year did not have.
Yeah,
that one made $48 million in theaters.
Not too bad on a $9 million budget. That's really good.
Yeah, this one will maybe do 15 or 20? Maybe?
I mean, it's been up for like a week, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'd say mid-20s maybe.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I mean, we're in its second weekend right now, so like we don't have a final like, oh, here's what the drop's going to be, but it's going to be bad.
I think it'll be pretty hefty, especially because this is because it was an interesting idea to make a 3-parter of these, I think. But also a little bit of a folly, probably a lot of bit of a folly, actually.
Yeah.
Because if you don't light the world on fire with Chapter 1,
yeah, of course,
you are still obligated to release Chapters 2 and 3, which are going to have diminishing returns.
Yes.
Because no one's going to go see The Strangers Chapter 2.
I mean, in general, yes, but specifically because they didn't see Chapter 1.
Yeah, but I'm like, I didn't see Chapter 1. I don't really care. Also, I can go see 2 other horror movies that are still in theaters right now. Yeah. Him or Conjuring.
But here's the interesting thing. If we look at the budgets for 1 and 2, and they're the exact same, you can just assume that 3 is going to be the exact same.
Yes, they're the
project
same because
is already profitable because the first one made like 5 times its budget.
Yeah.
So it actually does come out in the black, right? The red is bad.
Red, you don't want to be in the red. Yeah.
So they won. The 11 million here, or let's just say like around 20, and then let's be generous and say the third one's gonna do 15, right?
Okay.
The 11 and the 15 are just they're just money on top of the pile.
Yeah.
Because the first one already made enough to make back the budget of 3 movies.
So, and here's what I'll say on this front, because I think this also spins into what I find most interesting, just as a little like meat to talk about with the Strangers thing here.
Yeah.
I am unclear on the fact, because all 3 of these movies were made as a single production.
Correct.
A couple years
ago. And
they
were supposed to release in a much shorter time span.
They were all supposed to come out in 2024.
Yeah. Which very didn't happen.
No.
So stupid.
Because, and I think this also, so first of all, it's unclear to me if that $9 million budget is for all 3 movies, which would kind of be pretty impressive.
That'd be amazing.
If they're all one production, like, is that the case, or is it like $18 million or $27 million and they divided it by 3?
That's what I would more assume, because 27 for a horror movie is still fine.
Yeah, I mean that's what Pym cost or whatever.
Yeah, and $9 million is great for one single crappy horror movie.
Yes, but on that note, I also found out in doing some reading about the Strangers, the first person to ever do that. That after the release of 1 and the let's call it to be nice, let's call it tepid response to that 21% on Rotten Tomatoes, 44.6 in a C cinema score. They went back and did additional photography. They did some reshoots for chapters 2 and 3, which I read cost about $5 million to do those reshoots.
So then the budget for this might actually be like $14 million.
The budget for part 3 might technically be higher, because only they did a month of reshoots. They did like 4 weeks of reshoots.
Yeah.
1 week of those was to get more footage for chapter 2. 3 weeks of those was to shoot new material for chapter 3.
Okay.
So
3 weeks is normal for
yeah,
shooting schedule. It might even be a little long for a horror movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I feel about that, but like, what if the other one's great?
Tucker, if you go back to May of last year on this channel and watch my solo review of The Strangers Chapter 1, I say, you know what, Strangers Chapter 1, pretty boring, paint-by-numbers slasher movie, but Chapter 2 could be really interesting because they could do this, and this thing. Like, it could be like a mystery whodunit, but with like a town full of potential slasher killers. Not what this movie is. It sucks and is boring, and I and many other people who went to go see agree that it is worse than the first one, in fact.
1.4, man, that's just I mean, man.
Yeah, it's really quite poor. And I think even apparently the stuff that they shot and was new for chapter 2 is the stuff that I really don't like about it.
The research stuff you're saying?
Yeah, I because they do these stupid fucking like flashbacks to like the killers when they were kids, and like how they began killing or whatever when they were like 8. And I was like, this shit sucks. I don't give a fuck.
How they became estranged.
How they became estranged from society, and the origins of the things that the Strangers killers say. Like, right. Is Tamra here?
That's not threatening, and it's not iconic.
No. And Tucker, they draw a smiley face in a puddle of blood. Isn't that fucked up? Like the Strangers kind of have, apparently. I don't know. Anyway, my point being that I think Chapter 3 would probably also be quite poor, because I think they're a little bit unsalvageable. And the marketing budget for Chapter 2 was between $10 and $15 million. So they are sinking more and more money.
But here's my question. Like, where?
Yeah.
Like, where were you marketing this?
I don't know, man.
Where the fuck did you spend $15 million? Like, what, just like posters?
Didn't they do a thing where, like, the Strangers guy is at a baseball game or something? I think I saw something like that.
That's pretty cheap marketing.
No, it's gotta be, yeah, for sure.
You pay one guy to wear a costume and go to a fucking baseball game. That's low effort marketing. But whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Movie.
Yeah.
Last time on Backlit Banter, we talked about August, which had weapons, as we talked about before, closing out at $265 million. Really, really good for that movie. Hit. We say that, and weapons definitely, again, conversationally, also, again, Warner Brothers, really dominating August, but also nowhere close to Conjuring, right?
True.
Conjuring just like a lot bigger, but like,
Conjuring has almost like doubled that basically,
which is just really funny. It shows the disconnect between like true popularity and conversational popularity with the film going on. Just not saying that Weapons is a flop in either way, but just a funny disconnect.
Yeah, a funny disconnect of like people who talk about movies versus like what the majority of the general public wants to go see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Freakier Friday closing out at $152 million. Honey Don't $7 million. Hey Tanner, look, that's in week 7, so by the end of like week 20, maybe $20 million, right?
$20 million. Oh my God, they could make their money back on it.
Caught Stealing closing out with $31 million, and The Roses actually over doubling.
Doing pretty well.
At $48 million, and I'm just gonna quickly get the budget again for The Roses.
Yeah.
The Roses
couldn't have been that much though. I want to maybe 30 or 40.
Yeah, $30 million. Okay, so that's fine, and that'll play well on streaming. The Roses.
That is absolutely it will. Absolutely it will. Yeah, good stuff all around. This month, Tucker, pretty bad.
Well, it had some anchors, which if you look back at 2024, which actually had a really strong average at 7.42, there was no like serious anchors. You giving The Strangers Chapter 4 1.4 is like probably one of the lowest scores we've given.
Yes,
which really drags it down. But again, I really liked The Conjuring, and I actually liked him quite a bit. And Long Walk's great, and people love One Battle After Another. So I say this month comes out on top, to be honest.
Yeah.
Even though this is one of the lowest averages, it's because there were 2 like very poor films.
Yes.
But not because most of the films were bad.
Yeah, honestly. And Tucker, if you're not looking at our sick and twisted minds, and I guess also the sick and twisted mind of one Abram Buhner who was on our Megalopolis review,
true.
That score would be a lot lower as well.
That's a great point. But also, I would have given Megalopolis like a 3. So
yeah. Well, no, you did. You were on that review.
Yeah, no, of course. But it's like it's not.
Oh, sure.
It's your sick and twisted mind.
Exactly.
I would have given it the score that would reflect the month a little more accurately.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Well, also one more thing. Do you remember? I'm looking at that Beetlejuice number. Did we both give that like a 7 or whatever?
Yeah, I think so. It's like
because it wasn't one of us that liked it a lot more than the other situation, was it?
I would say if I had to guess, if I had to look back a year, I would say our scores were within like 0.4 of each other.
Yeah.
Like I probably gave it a 7.3, and you probably gave it a 6.7, right?
Yeah, that's probably a good point. I was just like a 7 for Beetlejuice. I don't like that movie that much actually.
Oh well, then maybe I gave it a lot higher.
Well,
or maybe you probably cooled on it. Let's be.
I probably cooled on it. Yeah, I was probably quite nice to it because I was like, oh, it's got like puppets.
Yeah, and Tanner, if you look back at the last 3 years, each year there's a Best Picture nominated film coming out in September.
September. The Substance, and then in 2023.
Tanner, I lied to you.
Oh,
I lied to you. I wasn't sure.
Oh. Well, Tucker, no, you're wrong. You don't remember when Expendables got nominated for Best Picture?
Just taking a look back, though, at 2023.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because, like, obviously we were really into reviewing movies consistently before that, but, like, that to me is, like, a September. That month fucking sucks. Even though, like, okay, we had a lot of fun with Saw X. Haunting in Venice isn't that bad, and the creator
Saw X is a good movie. Haunting in Venice is an okay movie.
And the creator isn't. Oh,
okay.
It's good. It's okay.
It's good to okay.
Yeah, but like, if Saw X is our highlight of that month, oh fuck, oh no, because like that's not a great movie, but
no,
it's a great movie.
Yeah, it's hey, as far as the Saw franchise goes, it's definitely up there.
Because we're fucked up. That's the only reason why that month had anything holding it up. But like,
exactly.
And I think that's why I was pleasantly surprised by this September. Of like a bunch of genuinely good movies came out. So I'm happy. I'm happy.
As far as the domestic cumulative box office goes, we kind of land very close actually to last year. We had some really big outsized hits, as we've already discussed in Demon Slayer and The Conjuring. Whereas last year, you had the huge hit of Beetlejuice obviously, and The Wild Robot did very well as well. But yeah, higher than 2023, which as established already, no bueno.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. We'll have to see where the last 3 months of the year end up. But I mean, if you look across, we're kind of averaging kind of below the last 2 years at the domestic box office cumulatively. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, we'll take a look at October. I don't have particularly high hopes.
Me neither. Me neither.
It's interesting.
Yeah. But no movement on the highest grossing movies of 2025 at the domestic box office. Nothing broke through. I did add, Tucker, the top 10 highest grossing movies of the worldwide box office, which is kind of a different picture. I mean, obviously you have a number one that is nowhere close to being number one at the domestic box office in Nija 2 with $1.9 billion. You got $2 billion movies there with Lilo and Stitch just ticking over the $1 billion mark. Yeah. Minecraft is down to number 3 with 957. What else is here that's not in the domestic? F1 is on here at number 6 with 624 million. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is like a couple, I guess, one spot higher than otherwise, and then. Yeah, just a little bit of a shuffle going on here. Thunderbolts
and Demon Slayer is bigger than 2 Marvel movies. All 3 Marvel movies.
Exactly, yeah. Fantastic Four is the only MCU film on this list at number 10, so that'll get shuffled off pretty quickly.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Will definitely be the first year ever that there's not a Marvel movie in the worldwide top 10.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Well, next year there'll be multiple. So
yes, exactly.
And last year there was one at the top. So
yeah. It's just been an odd year as discussed already. Let's see here.
Let's go through a couple headlines.
Oh yeah, let's go through some headlines. I was just gonna say that I saw that technically because Demon Slayer is based on a manga, it's the first time that the highest grossing comic book movie is neither Marvel or DC for this year.
Oh, is Neja totally original? There's no like.
I don't think. I think Neja is not a source material thing.
Wait,
so it's
Tanner.
Yeah.
Please, take your little windshield wipers. Go. Look a couple spots up from Demon Slayer.
Oh, Superman.
You heard about
Superman.
That guy? Does that count as Marvel or DC?
I think it does. Though Demon Slayer is on a hot streak right now. I think it could surpass.
That's
Superman.
interesting.
Yeah, I think it could.
Maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
You were thinking a month from now.
Yes, a month from now. We'll
no,
check
but the
again.
reality was your eyes skipped over Superman.
It did skip over Superman.
The headlines:
okay.
Skydance and Netflix are both preparing bids to acquire Warner Bros. Discovery. Now this conversation kind of happened like last year as well, and not like, or no, that was Paramount, where like. Yes. Merger acquisitions were...
which was... That deal was finalized with Skydance buying Paramount earlier this year, and now they got their big, sticky, greedy fingers hovering over Warner Brothers Discovery.
Tanner,
yeah.
If Netflix buys Warner Brothers...
Listen, both of these are very bad for the industry.
Yeah.
Both of these things would be very bad for the industry.
A Skydance acquisition would ostensibly mean Paramount and Warner Brothers merging.
Yeah, it would.
Like, would they just become like sub brands of like Skydance Media as like the fuck.
Paramount? I don't remember what the most recent Paramount movie that came out was, but they did change the logo to the point where it now says Paramount a Skydance company. Yeah. So it would be Warner Brothers a Skydance company.
Very interesting. Yeah. Well, that would be bad, but I mean, I'm sorry, but I would still prefer Skydance over Netflix.
Yeah. I guess so.
Yeah. Because then you also have to think about, like, dominance in the general space. Paramount is one of the big theatrical things, but Netflix is much bigger than Paramount. And then when we think about streaming, which is bigger than theatrical, I would much rather have Paramount Plus and HBO Max, yeah, it is HBO Max again. Merge than fucking Netflix and HBO Max merge.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would create a fucking unstoppable conglomerate of unlike the world had ever seen.
Yeah. And Tucker, not to get too #political, but if Skydance goes ahead with this, they've already kowtowed to the current administration. So, I mean, any sort of concerns about, like, monopolies or anything like that would have to get approved by the FTC would kind of just be brushed under the rug.
Yeah. So, A24 has won the bidding rights for film and TV rights to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Hey, how about that?
That's going to be interesting. I think A24 does pretty good with their horror movies. I'm pretty consistently a fan of A24 horror films. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre's biggest problem since the first 1.5 movies, I guess,
is that most of the movies aren't very good.
Well, not only they're not very good, but that they don't feel scrappy like that first movie. And A24 films don't feel particularly scrappy. They do feel polished in their own right. There's an indie energy to A24 that I think will bring a fresh feeling to Texas Chainsaw rather than studio rehash after studio rehash, which is what Texas Chainsaw has been stuck in that for almost its entire history.
Definitely. I agree. Joseph Kosinski will be helming a remake of Miami Vice that will release in theaters on August 6th of 2027.
Tanner?
Yeah?
I didn't hear about this.
You didn't hear about this?
This one fucking totally passed me by.
Passed you by?
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's making a new Miami Vice. Now the question is, Tucker, who do you get? That's the exciting chatter from everybody. Is like, who do you get? Yeah. You need a white guy and a black guy. Who do you get?
Or Tanner?
Yeah.
Trump's president, 2 white guys.
No, Tucker. No, we can't give it. We're not gonna. You can take my Miami Vice demographic, leading men from my cold dead hands.
Tanner, we don't want to DEI Miami Vice, you know?
No. Yeah, I don't know.
But also, hey, that's my birthday movie in a couple years.
It is.
Can't
Shout
wait.
out.
Much better than fucking Freaky Friday this year.
Oh yeah, we had weapons Friday. This year.
That's true.
Yeah.
The Social Reckoning, starring Jeremy Strong, Michael Madison, Jeremy Allen White, and Bill Burr, will release on October 9th, 2026.
Next year. One year from almost today.
Yeah, wow. That's going to be a moment and a half for us. We'll see what happens. We'll see. AI developer. Oh, fucking
particle.
Tilly, dude.
Yeah, we gotta talk about Tilly. This is maybe the biggest industry news of the past several weeks. AI developer Particle 6 has debuted an AI avatar they name Tilly Norwood as the first AI actress.
Now, Tanner, can I say something?
Yeah, go for it.
I think Tilly Norwood is a really funny name. Mm-hmm. That's the only good part about this. But like,
sure.
But like, if I came up with a character called Tilly Norwood, I'd be pretty proud of myself.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, fair enough.
It's a funny character name.
Yeah. Well, speaking of things that would be very bad for the industry, this would be very bad, and is very bad right now, and has thankfully been like roundly
dismissed
and slammed on by like SAG and a lot of other industries and unions and things like that. So I don't think we're at the point where things like this are going to catch on, but it's yet.
It'll happen. It'll happen eventually, but I do think that the backlash to it shows we're not ready yet. Tanner, but our kids are gonna love it.
They better not. God damn it, they better not.
Tanner's gonna bring back what's the general term for like punishing your children with violence, like capital punishment? Is that no?
Is that right? No, corporal punishment.
No, that's a funny war character name.
Interesting.
Corporal punishment.
Corporal punishment. According to reporting.
Tanner's bringing that back if his kids start watching AI actors. He's gonna get out the ruler and whack them on the knuckles.
Yeah, honestly, good lord. I mean, that's what I should be doing to these Particle 6 guys. Honestly. They need to get a wrap across the knuckles with a ruler.
Just put a fucking space in your logo. What do you mean Particle 6, one word? Fuck you.
Yeah, not a typo, even though Google thought it was. Okay, Tucker, this is one of the biggest surprises headlines of the month. The Simpsons movie 2 is coming out on July 23rd, 2027. Huh? Excuse me?
Why
Simpsons
not?
movie 2?
Why not? We'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah. Will Tucker take from the rafters right now? Will this be the last Simpsons thing? Will they end the show after this? No, I don't think so either.
I was like, that would be really interesting. But no, why the fuck would they stop?
Why would they? Yeah, exactly.
It may though. It may be end of an era. It may mean ostensibly a soft Simpsons reboot of some kind, right?
Sure.
New voice cast, maybe a new art style or something. What's like this is kind of the cap off of what that was. I mean, a lot of the actors are getting incredibly old. I believe one of them recently passed away.
Maybe
a Simpsons actor. So that would be timing for that. That's, I think, probably what's more likely.
Fair enough. James Mangold has signed an overall first look deal with Paramount. Hey, Paramount getting a lot of discussion this month. What this probably means is that any like other franchise thing he was signed on to, he had some conversations with DC doing a Swamp Thing or with Disney doing a Star Wars. That's probably on the back burner, on the shelf for now, because he does have this this motorcycle crime thriller heist movie with Timothée Chalamet at Paramount, so that'll probably be his next film.
Tanner, I've got something for you and Sam and Joe and Seth to look at. Or
okay.
Maybe we can save this till when I'm in town. We can take a look at this. I just discovered the Wikipedia page for James Mangold's unrealized projects.
Oh, okay.
And there's about 30 of them.
Yeah, naturally.
Going back to the 80s.
He's just a guy that Hollywood loves right now. I think just because he's a guy who can make a movie, no fuss, no muss.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he's not like incredibly prolific.
He's not.
There was 5 years between his. I mean, oh, sorry, I forgot about Dial of Destiny. Ford v Ferrari, Logan, Ford v Ferrari, Dial of Destiny, completely unknown. That's 3 for 4.
Yeah.
So, all right.
I think he's just popular amongst these studios because he can deliver your movie on time fairly competently. Actually, he's kind of the prime journeyman of Hollywood right now. Last thing, and this is something that just came out over this weekend. Universal will not begin pre-production, and by that I mean signing actors to contracts, writing a script, location scouting, anything like that, on Fast and Furious 11, unless $50 million can be cut from the budget.
Tanner, what are you talking about? Fast X Part 2 came out in 2024.
Oh yes, I forgot about that. And they all went to space this time, and they traveled through a wormhole, and they went back to the first movie, and there was CGI AI. Paul Walker.
Yeah. They clasped hands. It was a great one. This is fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean you're just gonna cut budget from the Fast and Furious movies? Like, is that really gonna help?
Tucker, do you remember how much Fast X cost?
You know what? Isn't it like one of the five like highest budgeted movies of all time from stupid like that? Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, was it like $450 million?
It was so. I can look again. Fast.
But, okay,
X.
so you know what? Actually, I rescind it. Fair enough.
$340 million.
Okay.
For Fast X.
340. Yeah. Oh no. Oh, only a measly $300 million to make my movie. Whatever shall I do?
Yeah. Well, or do they mean like from the prospective budget for this?
Oh, which we don't know what it would be.
Yeah, which we don't know what it'll be.
Yeah, they gotta get it down to 340.
Yeah, but also wasn't the thing like, oh, we're taking it back to the streets or whatever, we're going street level again. I thought that wasn't that the idea for this one already?
Well, was it? It was not supposed to be. It was supposed to be Fast X Part 2 at one point.
It was, yes.
X-2.
Well, because then it's Vin Diesel, who's at the scene of every crime related to this film, he just is just saying shit. I was under the impression that they were filming this movie because Vin Diesel lied about that on Instagram. He's like, hey, we're filming it right now. And they're just not.
What a fucking character.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yes.
I for one, I mean, I'm a fan of that series. And so, like, if I really would like there to be an ending to it.
So, same here. I am a fan of those big, dumb movies. But as I expressed to you, actually just a couple months ago, do you remember us talking about this on this very show a couple months ago?
That you think it would be funny?
Yes,
if they just leave it?
It would be so funny because the ending of that movie is Dom and Dom Jr. are fucking racing down an exploding dam.
Correct.
That's just been hit by a missile strike. Some other characters, I'd forget who, are in the fucking Arctic Circle, and Giselle Gal Gadot shows up in a submarine.
Yeah, that's true. Submarine, yeah.
Yeah, and then The Rock is back with a white beard, and he kills a bunch of like special ops guys, and he's like, "I'm back, and I have a MacGuffin." Yeah,
and also, isn't John Cena like dead?
Yeah, he exploded.
Yeah, but like.
Yeah.
Not,
he ejector seated or cut a Nick Fury hole in the ground with a laser or whatever.
in the New Mexico desert.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus fuck. Okay, let's talk about October.
Okay.
Bunch
we got
of
a lot of movies
coming
to talk
out.
about here.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna rock this month.
I don't know what's going to happen either. I mean, I have my predictions, but I'm kind of iffy on everything. So we are in the release weekend of October 3rd, which is a few of these. The Smashing Machine, Good Boy, the official release party of a Showgirl, the new Taylor Swift album release party special event, and the Avatar: The Way of Water re-release are all this weekend as well. Next weekend is the release of Tron Ares and Roofman. Weekend after that, we have The Black Phone 2 and Good Fortune. And I believe After the Hunt is next weekend, October 17th as well. The 24th, we have Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, Chainsaw Man, Reze Arc the Movie, Regretting You, and Shelby Oaks. And on the 31st, we get the wide release of Yorgos Lanthimos' Begonia.
Tanner?
Yeah.
You know what this month's got? It's got our two favorite working European motherfuckers, Yorgos Lanthimos and fucking Luca Guadagnino. They just don't stop fucking working.
They just plugging away at stuff, and you know what? I respect the hell out of them for it.
Yeah, and we'll see both of those.
Tucker, the October 2025 box office predictions for what will be the biggest domestic openings. You have The Black Phone 2 at number 1. I have
Tanner,
Tron Ares at number 1.
I'm riding high for horror. We are 2 months into this horror dominating the top of the box office streak.
All right. Yeah.
And The Black Phone was a big hit, and I'm only just thinking that horror just seems to be what people care about right now. And I don't think Tron is something that people fucking care about right now.
Yeah, I'm cold on Tron. I'm not as hot on some of these as some of the tracking might suggest. I think the walk up business for this will be pretty low. I'm going to say $45 million opening weekend for Tron.
Tanner, I appreciate you starting a little bit lower this time.
Yeah,
that's smart.
I have the release party of a Showgirl at number 2. I have that one at $40 million.
Oh, okay. All right.
You have Tron Ares at number 2 there. I have Black Phone 3, Black Phone 2 at number 3 rather. Yeah. I have $25 million for the Black Phone 2. I think this will kind of be a Smile 2 situation, is kind of what I'm smelling off of this.
You know what? Fair enough. Yeah, where the first one was big, but this one is a solid hit, but nothing special.
This one, it's kind of a lateral move, ultimately. Sure. It's kind of what I'm thinking on this. Then I have Chainsaw Man, Reze Arc at number 4. I'm going to say $20 million. Not nearly as big as, Demon Slayer, but this is a very popular anime in the United States, so I think that'll be worth something. And then at number 5, I have Regretting You. And so do you. We have the same 4 and 5.
Yeah. You know what I'm regretting? I'm regretting Black Phone 2 at number 1. But you know what?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
We make a little Josh. We make a little jab.
I'm saying 15. 15
Regarding You is the next Colleen Hoover adaptation.
Yep.
I think it's being marketed to the proper audiences, and I think it's going to bring them out. So
yeah, I saw that they're doing some special fan event on the Thursday night that this comes out. Which I guess speaks a little bit to confidence in it, but also the craziest thing about it to me is that special event is 45 minutes longer than the movie. What the hell are they doing at this special event? What the fuck is taking up 45 minutes?
It's a long time.
I don't know.
Did they say it's like a Q&A,
No, I don't know. I looked at the movie info and it's just the plot description of the movie. I have no idea what's going on here. I don't know if I'll see this because
Go to the fan screening.
I'm not going to go to the fan screening.
Tanner, how are you supposed to fucking know then?
Tucker, my priorities...
Boots on the ground journalism, Tanner, journalism. What did you fucking learn in J school? Be there, be on the scene.
Yeah.
Firsthand.
Tucker, I'll ask Grok and he'll write an article for me about it.
That's a great point.
That's what journalists do now.
Tilly, is this true?
Tilly, is this true?
Tilly Norwood, is this the movie?
So, Tucker, neither of us have Springsteen on our top 5.
No. Because as we were discussing before we started this, I don't think that anyone knows about this movie.
Yeah. I don't think so either. And this, I don't feel fully bit me in the ass when I said this about A Complete Unknown, because that movie only opened to $10 million or whatever. Yeah. But I am feeling it kind of doubly with Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. A smaller star, a guy who is probably kind of just as obscure to younger audiences, I would say. Bruce Springsteen is not especially a huge act still for young people. I mean, older audiences definitely know and like Bruce Springsteen, so they could definitely turn out for this. But I just don't see this playing out in the same fashion.
Yeah, Tanner, isn't there another music biopic coming out before the end of the year?
What
yes.
The fuck is it? Song Sung Blue. Is that what they're thinking of?
What is that?
Okay, so that one is technically, it is based on a true story, but it's not about the guy.
No, I thought.
Is it something else you're thinking of?
Maybe, I don't know what I'm talking about.
I can do a quick peruse.
I could be wrong, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens here. I'm just, especially financially, I just I have no hope in it.
Yeah, the trailers don't sell me, especially on this film either. It's like Jeremy Strong being like, he had a hole in his floor, and he's gonna play guitar.
Yeah,
man.
Lord.
I will see it. I will be seeing that, and we're getting fucking Stuckmanized on the 24th as well. We're going to be seeing Shelby Oaks.
Now there was a fleeting moment, Tanner, where I was like, Shelby. Cause I have very good faith that Shelby Oaks will be a buzzy hit. I don't think it's going to be massive financially. There was a moment where I was like, looking at these movies, I'm like, what? Who the fuck cares about any of this? Shelby Oaks horror surprise, coming out of nowhere. But let's be real. It's not gonna make like $20 million. So
this is the last thing I want to say about the month of October, and it goes to your horror lighting up the box office thing. What are the horror movies in October? Black Phone 2 is the big studio title.
Yeah.
Shelby Oaks is a independent production that was picked up by Neon for distribution, and then what else? Nothing.
Good Boy, right?
Good Boy's a horror movie, yeah. Again, that's a very small play that just got a wide release like a couple of weeks ago. It was going to be limited. No, I was going to say one got moved, but no, Mortal Kombat was supposed to come out this month, and that got moved. But that's not a horror movie. I don't know. Is it a thing of like maybe studios have caught on to people like don't go to horror movies in October or around Halloween because everyone's going to Halloween parties on Halloween?
Well, but it's not November. They're not November either. The only, if I'm looking at this correctly, I think Keeper's like the only
November horror movie. Yeah.
Next month.
Honestly, Tucker, it's kind of September. September is your horror movie month.
I mean, I guess that was true. There were 3, and then Godspeed to fucking Blumhouse Productions putting out Final Fantasy Freddy's 2 in fucking December.
Early December. That's when all the hits are out, baby.
But, I mean, that's going to be fine in that slot.
Yeah, it will be. I mean, again, it's a known quantity. People will come out for it. It'll be fine. Okay, Tucker, should we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Okay. Folks, thank you so much for watching this month's box office banter. We will be back next month to recap everything that happens in October. We'll see you then.